All right, give me like 2 seconds to tweet this out. I was trying to get started at top of the hour, but I missed it by 1 minute. Then we can start talking. If you guys just want to start just dumping questions in the chat, probably be easier today. Because I think once I say everything that I want to say, you're gonna have just an idea of where I want to go, and I think that'd just be easier versus talking about the chalk and everything like that. Let me just tweet this out for the 7 people who are going to watch it. All right, let me make sure that goes. And that's live. Hell yeah, we're all good to go. Okay, so when we start looking at this, at the ROVAL race here, I personally am going to try and be very aggressive. Now, as we always say with DFS projections and stuff, if you put in bad projections, you're going to get out bad results. If you put in, anything like if your process is messed up at the very start, it's going to be messed up through the entirety of it, and you're going to end up with bad lines. So add this. Well, let's talk about the situation that's happening, which I think is actually pretty big, pretty huge. I know a lot of people might think I'm like over exaggerating its importance or whatever. But the fact that there was a good hour and 15 minutes, hour and 20 minutes post the end of qualifying to when a lot of these sites ended up getting their starting lineup in. Now, I used abnormally distributed, his sheet. A lot of the times I don't necessarily use his stuff for Truck and Xfinity because I pull my own data and stuff like that. But for road courses, just because I'm an idiot and I don't know how to reset my scraper from laps or from mile per hour to seconds. Road courses, I typically either just look at the average run, which I can get from NASCAR.com, or I just look at his data here, and then I remove lineups. And I ran this. So this is NASCAR's average with all their laps ran. This is mine after I removed the laps I didn't want it to be using in that average. But anyway, so I figured we would take forever to get the qualifying grid out because they didn't run a second round. A lot of the times whenever anything off the norm, things just fall apart on NASCAR's side. And so the website wasn't updating at all. The feed went down, or not down, but like you couldn't pull anything of it. It just kept pulling the round 2 qualifying, stuff like that. So I went to AD and he had the starting grid and stuff, but like nobody else was posting it anywhere. Like no official source, no reporters, J-Ski, Toby Christie, none of these people were posting the starting grid for like easily an hour and a half, 30 minutes after qualifying was over. By that point, I'm already done with my stuff. I've already ran my projections. I already know what lines I'm playing. I've already had a lot of my stuff running by the time a lot of these sites officially, entered the starting grid. And when I say that, like we've seen Fantasy Cruncher not even have all the drivers in the player pool. I can't imagine that a lot of sites out there were really able to not necessarily run things, but really dig deep into it. Like if you use the grid, right after Q, then you had like 3 hours to dick around, look at different builds and stuff like that. If you're basically just getting that now, maybe like 20 minutes ago or whatever, like, yeah, you're jamming in lines an hour 15 in and things like that. And I think that's pretty huge and significant. Like, for example, I have to check SaberSim again, but I'm pretty sure they have their stuff up. And I want to actually look at which I have it here, but I don't want to bring that up. Don't open that on screen. I think that I haven't seen anything. And typically DraftKings points on these sites, I don't necessarily live and die by them. I just want to see what they're kind of landing on. And so, yeah, so Nemechek is the highest projected driver by SaberSim. That's no secret. I easily saw that happening. However, like for me, I don't believe that these guys are going to just get through the field. As I said in my video on Thursday, when you look at these races and you look at how these guys get stuck in traffic, and you look at the stage cautions playing into effect, and you look at all that type of stuff. Now, I think it is a lot easier for Nemechek to get through compared to like Larson tomorrow. But if everybody's going to play Nemechek, I have him for like 13 points lower than probably what the median projection is. So like I have him like right at like 42 to 45 points for him at 10-3, whereas I assume a lot of people are going to probably have him at like 55 to 63 points. So like already I'm getting different there, not purposely, playing less in Nemechek. But when you look at all the people back here, like we have Myatt Snider starting 31st in a JGR car that is just going to be fast in general. Now, Nemechek didn't queue. He had an issue and stuff. When we look at Nemechek's actual speed, 18th on average, man. We look at his runs, like 14th in 5 laps. Now, granted, yes, he didn't get a ton of laps. Well, I mean, he did get, like, this is a significant amount of laps. Only one time down pit lane that I removed him being down. And this time, like, this is kind of slow, man. There's a real chance. Now, this isn't like Ty Gibbs starting last. This isn't like AJ starting last. Now, we've seen Nemechek have speed at these races, but Nemechek has a real chance of getting stuck in the mid-teens. And if that happens, those lineups are not going to compete to be an optimal. They're just not. They're going to score well, and they might still win. But I don't believe Nemechek is going to land the optimal lineup. Compared to Myatt Snider, now I'm not saying he's my lock-in play, but his price tag makes it way easier for him to work in nearly any lineup, and all he has to do is basically just get to 20th. Like, if he gets 20th, he's not killing you. It's going to work out fine. Nemechek, however, basically needs to, finish top 10. This race is only, 67 laps. I think it's going to be really difficult for him to really push through the field. We have a lot of people getting stupid with probably staying out for stage points, pitting before this stage. There's going to be a lot of jumbled up traffic everywhere, and I just find it hard to believe that Nemechek is going to really work out today, and I think it's going to be difficult for a lot of place differential to work out. Like Sammy Smith, I don't think he necessarily flies through the field. I don't think Chandler Smith flies through the field. Let's focus on the guys who are actually fast in this race in practice and stuff. We have Allgaier, Mayer. We'll talk about the points situations in a second. We have Allgaier, Mayer, Gralla, Custer, Hemrick, Mozak, Hill, Clear. Like, these are the guys that I would want to primarily try and target and get as many of these guys in as possible. Same thing when we look at the 5-lap runs. You'll see a pretty similar distribution of where these guys are in terms of the highest ranking driver compared to where they are in the 5-lap runs and stuff like that. Now, when we start looking, or when we look at that and then compare it to where these guys are at points, I think we have a situation where we probably see, and this is where I'm going to lose money today right off the bat, right off of this. If I'm wrong about this, my shit is not going to cash at all. I'm not even going to be fucking close. I think Sam Mayer, I think Josh Berry, I think Daniel Hemrick, where's Hemrick at? And I think Parker Kligerman. Where's Kliger? Where is he? I think Parker Kligerman are going to run for points. I think they chase stage points. Now, when you do this, you stay out, you win the stage, and then you're probably going to start around in the mid-teens entering stage 2. Okay? You do the same thing again. You race for points in stage 2 because you're at the cutoff line. And then you start mid-pack in stage 3. I think this race goes green for the most part. I don't believe that we have a ton of wrecks. I really believe, and I think this will be a great indicator of what it does for the Cup Series. But I think the restart zone is going to be massive. And as I said, I think I may have said, this is just an advantage they give the leader in the video on Thursday, and I probably didn't elaborate enough. If you look at F1, as an example, I'm not saying this is equivalent to F1, but when you look at a racing series like F1 that allows the driver to control when the restart happens, of course they're going to build it in the leader. Of course, the leader, the guy in charge of the restart, is going to build it in for him to have an advantage, leaving that last corner before the straightaway down the front straightaway, before the straightaway on the front straightaway near the start-finish line. The leader will always have an advantage getting there. You look at IMSA, you look at hell, even dirt racing with a Delaware double file restart with the leader by himself on the front row and then second and third are side by side. The leader has the advantage because he controls when the restart is. He controls how he exits the first corner, and he has the advantage, and it's very difficult to catch him on this. Now, when we look at the restart zone here at the ROVAL, the leader should line up in the left lane. he should get on the gas as soon as he gets through the second apex in that chicane down the front straightaway, and he should have the best launch out of anybody. He should be by himself entering turn one, or at least have the guy on the outside of him at like his right rear quarter panel. These guys shouldn't be side by side, and it just it gets more exaggerated as you go through the field because everybody's the leader's catching up, but nobody else is going. Like the guy in front of him isn't going, and then we just have more spacing between where these cars are at. And so I think Sam Mayer leads the entire first stage. And if he doesn't, even better for me. I think Sam Mayer leads the entire first stage, stays out for stage points, gets his playoff point, whatever the case may be, and then comes out like fucking 17th in stage 2. Stays out again, runs the same idea in stage 2, probably wins or finishes top 5 in stage 2, and then just starts again in the mid-teens. For fantasy points, that's horrific. That's terrible. That will not work for DraftKings scoring and stuff like that. And so as I said, I think Barry, I think Hemrick, I think Kligerman are all in that same that same label. Other drivers who fall into that, you could probably throw Creed in there, but I think Creed is not going to be as not aggressive or drastic, but I don't think it hinders him nearly as much as it does other people. So I'm personally not playing Sam Mayer, Barry, Hemrick, or Parker Kligerman today in this race. Despite the fact they're starting top 10, despite the fact they all have decent speed, Kligerman not to the same extent, but all these guys are fast. Like Mayer has the fastest car in this race. That we can see that. We have seen it time and time again that these guys absolutely just kill themselves. These teams have a strategist that never graduated like kindergarten at all. And so I'm not playing the guys in red. I like Allgaier. I really like Cole Custer. Those are my two primary guys that I'm going to end up chasing, and they're my two favorites to win the race. Past that, it really just falls to what my projections are saying. And this is one where if I'm right, I'm going to be really happy with him. If I'm off anywhere, everybody using my stuff or having an idea of or understanding where I'm at is just going to have a terrible, terrible time. After that, I'm just defaulting to projections for everybody else. I don't think we're going to have a lot of people getting through the field, as I said. Like, I think even Brett Moffitt struggles. I think Myatt Snyder is going to struggle. But I would much rather play and be wrong on Brett Moffitt and Myatt Snyder in the 7K range than pay up for Nemechek, than pay up for Sammy Smith. That's just where I'm at there. That's really that's really my approach, man. It's still just trying to play guys that have the starting track position that's well. And yeah, man, that's kind of where we're at. Let's see what you guys are at, and let's see what questions I can answer to try and get or provide more context to my stuff. Either way, let's check it out here. What's going on, Matthew? Happy to have you here. 64 you guys here on a Saturday. Thank you very much. Thoughts on playing no one from 16 and below. I love that idea. So for me, we have an hour until the slate locks. I'll probably be live for another 15 to give you guys 45 minutes to whatever to build your lineups and stuff. But I love that. Like, the people that I want to play are people like Kaz Gralla, people like Connor Mozak. Now, the main issue with Connor and these guys is like, dude, the dead crew member juju only works the week when somebody dies. We can't. Sherry Pollux and Truex did not have a good run-in at Texas, okay? They didn't do anything at Talladega. Why are we running this 2 weeks after her death here? But Connor has speed. Casarella has speed. I love their pricing as well. I think this is a race to where it makes a lot of sense, specifically if I'm paying up for Allgaier, for Custer. I like Austin Hill as well. Probably low, not going to be played much. But I like Mozak. I like Gralla, Balicki, LeBay. Now, if LeBay loses like anything more than like 3 positions, that lineup is just fucking dead in the water. But in situations like that, also, I was really going to do 5 lines for this race. I'm doing 12. I'm trying some things out, and I would rather try them out in real time versus having the contest be over and then simming my stuff or putting my stuff in. So, but yeah, I'm doing 12 lines, and I'm probably going to have Gralla and Connor and probably 4 each. I'll probably have LeBay in 2. I'm going to be really aggressive on just playing guys up front today. And that's what I'm going to, like, if I'm wrong there, I'm not making any money at all today. Not even going to be close to cashing. It's going to be a day where we are dead last in in these contests and stuff like that. But like realistically, like Alex is gonna pass like 5 guys. Kyle Sieg's gonna pass like 9. That's not gonna work. Graf's gonna pass like 6 guys in this race. Not gonna work. Daly's not gonna really get by anybody. Poole and Williams are probably the best value plays here in terms of skill, in terms of talent, and in terms of what they can potentially do. All you need from these guys here is about 6 guys from either of them, and they're not necessarily going to kill your line. Wyatt Snyder, as I've said. But like, we're not playing Ellis. We're not playing Parsons. We're not playing Roger Caruth. Brett Moffitt's a fringe play. We're not playing Leland. We're not playing Sieg. We're not playing Perkins. We're not playing Parker. I'm probably not going to be getting to much Sammy Smith, just because his speed is concerning to me. Like, where's he starting at? Where's this boy? Where's this guy at? He's starting 22nd. 16th average. Like, man, dude. And then you get 11th on the 5 lap. Like, man, dude, that's, was he 95, 90, 93? I would assume he's probably scores around 37 to 40, Could certainly work if you could afford him at that. Not necessarily in value, but just under it. But I'd rather go other places. I'm not playing Alfredo. I'm not playing Sage Karam in the MBM car. Shout out to Boris said, man. That's what a legend. What a legend, man. Jumped in a Hendrick car to DNF when the car was originally supposed to be in qualifies 20th. That's incredible. But like Balicki, we know Balicki's always there. He's like basically a free square at 54. Not a free square to like throw it in every line, but like he doesn't have to do anything to pay that price tag off. So I'm focusing on the top half of the grid today here. What's going on, Alex? Yes, this is the road course. How long do I leave? I can't read that. Hold on. Oh, sorry, I had a thing in the way. So for me, I'm lactose intolerant, and not necessarily with like a ton of cheese, like pasta, stuff like that doesn't bother me, but like ice cream is a fucking disaster. Okay, yogurt, any milk product, like any true dairy, But back in the day when I would eat ice cream, I typically like stuff melted a little. Not enough to like throw in the microwave like a fucking lunatic or like leave it out in the sun. But like, man, ice cream sandwiches, those are just like L's, dude. I'd rather have like the drumstick, something like that. Or like actual just ice cream in a bowl. I don't know. Just because otherwise it's like dripping all over the fucking place and everything like that. Speaking of that, now that we're waiting for real questions, I've been dicking around with AI a lot. As I tweeted earlier, and I made this the other night, and all I typed in was NASCAR driver melting, but your ice cream reminded me of this here. This is fucking hilarious. I think this is very funny. I made a lot of things. I can't take credit for these two, but I think these are hilarious. I didn't make those. But I made a lot of talking all teams with racist Kyle Larson. I got a ton of stuff, man. I'm having so much fun with AI. But anyway, your ice cream question reminded me of the Jizz driver that I made completely on accident. Who are you most comfortable with in the low range? Oh, back to the ice cream question. Maybe like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, because you don't want that ice cream shit all over your hands. That's just a bad time. I would totally play Allgaier and Custer. I don't imagine either of them to hit value. I just think you have to play raw points in this situation here. I think Allgaier and Custer are the best plays in the top 10, projection-wise and stuff. And I don't think they're going to lead anything in this race. I don't think they're going to be lap leaders at all. I think the main lap leaders aren't even in the optimal lineup, man. Let's take a trip down Racing Reference memory lane here. And let's take a trip down here. And let's go to the ROVAL. Let's look at let's do the last 3 races here. We'll do the last races here, right? This is ROVAL, right? Sure hope it is. Drive for the Cure. So when we look at AJ, and we look at Ty Gibbs, first, second, most laps led and stuff. But these guys were pretty solidly locked in on points last year. Whereas, like, Sheldon Creed stayed out to get a lot of stage points, got trapped in the back. We look at these yellows, a lot of yellows in stage 3, which can very easily happen. I'm trying to at least try and project the first 2 stages. Stage 3 could just absolutely derail everything. When we look at this year, a lot of crashes, a lot of yellows in these races here with people stopped on the track, but not a lot of like big, huge crashes where people are gaining positions here. And we see outside of AJ driving through the field who just had the best car in practice and everything just qualified poorly, nearly everybody starts up front here. And I think it leans to that, man. I think it leans to that. So, like, yet again, if I'm wrong with Sam Mayer, he's just going to fucking destroy the field, and I just won't be on. That's kind of where we're at there. What is this? Oh, yeah, most comfortable in the low-end range? Yeah, it would be, I'm assuming you mean, like, low value. Probably Poole and Williams. Those are probably the only guys that I would be there. You also don't need to get there. Like, a lot of my stuff is using balanced lineups. Like, I'm not even really touching the 5K range and things like that. I'm playing a lot of guys in the 7K range. I'm playing a lot of guys in the 8K range, 9, stuff like that. Like, I'm really not getting the 5 and 4, you know? So that's kind of where I'm at. The chalk that I don't mind eating would be Snyder. I'll probably have 4 of my 12 lineups with Nemechek. I think those are the main stances I'm taking there. I think this is going to be a very, very difficult race for these guys to make ground in. Like, Nemechek, realistically, let's envision Nemechek on the start of the race. Let's say where the leader crosses the line. Nemechek is out of NASCAR turn 4. Like, he's not even in the chicane on the restart zone. By the time Nemechek gets to the start-finish line, the leader is probably midway down the straightaway in the infield, if not even farther along. Probably farther ahead. Like, I don't think Nemechek is going to get up till probably like 26, 27 by the end of stage 1. That's huge, and that same thing can be said with Snyder and Moffitt and stuff. I just don't think these guys are going to really get through the field very quickly, unless we just have a ton of yellows and they can get off sequence and stuff. But it's difficult to project for that things. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. I did an anime NASCAR number 3, and that was kind of lame. I've been making a lot of me and the Winslow gang have just been making a ton of meme shirts with all our inside jokes just on t-shirts and shit. It's been a fucking blast. Any Weatherman? Probably not. I'm probably not playing Kyle Weatherman today. That is just probably not getting to Kyle Weatherman. And the main concerning issue is that he is in a JD Motorsports car, starting 13th. Now, the survival of this car is not in question, but Weatherman is at his ceiling at the moment, where it stands. That's a tough sell for him to hold on to 13, because I think he finished probably around 17th, you know? But that 4 points back is pretty huge. So I'm not going to have any Weatherman. But the same argument can be made with Bullocky. Same argument can be made with even like Jordan Taylor and stuff. But I'm just probably not going to get to Weatherman in this race today. How much Snyder should we have? I do not know. What do I have him? In my... I would probably cap Snyder around 30 to 35%. I think that's what I would do. I don't think you need any more. What has Saberson got him at? What is his projected at here? He's probably going to be huge. Yeah, he's the second highest scorer here. Yeah, so I would assume Nemechek is probably going to be 45 to 55. Snyder would probably be 40. So I think being underweight on Snyder is probably the play. Not saying don't play him, but build those lines differently. Specifically in the sense of like, yeah, I would like Snyder fading Nemechek and playing a lot of guys up front. I think we're gonna have a lot of people playing Snyder and Nemechek together, probably with a Moffitt, a Sammy Smith, somewhere around those lines. I think Snyder is just fine. I'll probably just end up with like 30% of him and be there, and then hopefully he just underperforms like a motherfucker, and that 30% isn't killed because he only needs what is that, like 37 points or something like that. I think he probably scores around like 34 regardless. He's not going to kill you, but yeah, dude, like, this is what I mean. Everything came out so late. There's no way this shit is running. There's no way these people are running like all the outcomes, because it's just Nemechek, Snyder, Sammy Smith, Brett Moffitt as the highest projected guys on SaberSim. And as I said, I don't look at, like, I don't give a shit what their ownership projection is. But I want to see what their projected DK points are, because typically they're pretty similar across the board with where they fall in line with Awesemo, or Stochastic, Roto Grinders, Fantasy Cruncher, all these similar places, specifically when it's a road course with place differential being the center point of how you score points, are usually all lined up pretty well. And so, yeah, I might be building different. Did I wake up in this race, see this grid, and be like, I'm going to fade the place differential, guys? No. I just gave people finishing positions that I think is a realistic play, and it just so happened to be that it's not giving as many place differential plays as probably other places are. So yeah, that's that. As I said, you put good stuff in, you're gonna get good stuff out. If you put bad things in, you get bad things out. So if I'm wrong on this, like, there's no way I'm gonna make money today. There's no way I'm cashing. If I'm wrong about any of this, it's just gonna be one of those days to where you're really wrong and you get fucking buried in the standings. Gralla and Hill, or Connor Mozak and Custer. I'd go Connor Mozak and Custer. How much do you dislike? Why am I having such trouble seeing this? I don't know what you're asking there, Matthew. Yeah, I don't know what you're asking there. I would love to be able to answer that, but I'm not entirely sure what you are asking there. But yeah, man, I think that's mainly it. My projections truly today speak of where I'm at. So if you are supporting me on Patreon, then you can directly see what I think of everybody, or if I've ever made you laugh, if you ever had a fun time in here, if you've ever enjoyed anything that I do, if you enjoy watching my little Counter-Strike and Winstill late in the week. I've had people be like, you need to make a second channel for that. I really don't care, dude. The channel's small enough as it is. People who watch my stuff are going to find me anyway. If it's tanking the algorithm in some form, like, that's perfectly fine. Like, YouTube is not the main source of revenue. I'm not concerned about the algorithm being tainted by gaming and stuff late at night, things like that. But some people do like that. Some people like to watch it. I get 3 to 4 likes in those videos. That's a lot more than I used to. So let's see. Do I like Brandon Jones? Oh, yeah, I was like, what the hell is this Don Joe shit? I would probably... So, I've played a lot of Chandler Smith at road courses. Hasn't worked out. He struggles getting through the field. Brandon Jones is... That's Sammy. That's not even close. I don't even know why I'm typing in Sammy Smith. Brandon Jones, here on averages, like, man, I just don't see anything there that I like at all. We've seen Brandon Jones and them have issues in these road courses where they can't, like, Brandon Jones, I'm surprised he qualified so well, because he never qualifies well at road courses. I'm probably going to play neither one of those. I would play Chandler Smith over Jones, but I don't think I'm going to play either Chandler Smith or Jones today in these races here. And I think that is where I'm going to call it. That gives you 47 minutes to build your lineups and have a jolly old time before the start of the race. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow early before all the NFL stuff kills any interest in the NASCAR event. Also, what are these contest, man. F1 contest. 3,100 people. That's depressing as hell. The NASCAR one is, I'm shocked. I can't believe it's like 9,000 people. That's insane, dude. That's nuts. That's bonkers, dude. I cannot believe that. That's so sad. 9,800 people in a $15 NASCAR contest. So I think this is the race to play this weekend, man. I really do. I think this is the contest to play. I think the Xfinity Series race is the one you want to play. We still got open spots in the 4. The 10 is at 4,100 people. Like, WTF, LMAO, why is it not even close to filling? That's going to be just cut down. That's going to be Cotton Hill. Like, we're just going to shoot off the shins of the Xfinity Series contest next week. And that bitch will probably be like 5,600 people. It's got to be because qualifying just wasn't official. Nobody had the fucking grid unless you had a source for it that you trusted or you knew how to get it. You know? That's crazy. It's not even close to filling. So I have to assume that everybody's just going to, oh, we got the starting grid now. Let me run my lineups. Let me set it up for 20 max. Let me get not a correlation, a sim diversity of 9. Throw it in there. Take those 20 lines and throw them in there, and then you're gonna end up with like 50 to 60% Nemechek, 40 to 50% Snyder. Like it. I think this is the contest to play this weekend, and yeah, that's just where I'm at. Yeah, man, they're so small and everything like that. Yeah, these contests are terrible. Anywho, I think that's gonna be it, and yeah, I will see you guys later. Here, I'll show the rest of these off real fast. These aren't even, so I haven't even saved them all, but this is Walter White in World War I. This is Walter White in Vietnam. Let me go through some other ones I've made real fast, because I wanted to post all these on Twitter, but I just don't want to be flooding my fucking Twitter feed with a bunch of meme content. Let me find other ones that I've made that I found very funny. Here's Yoda storming the Capitol. Here's Yoda on D-Day wearing an NWA shirt. Here is my kind of race that I want. Let me find some other ones that I've made. Like, it's crazy that it nails, like, renders and shit wild. Like, I just had it rendering, like, random cars and stuff, or, like, shirts. Shit's pretty wild. Let's see. We got billboards with "It's the Dumb One." This is the type of shit that I'd laugh at. I have these. I didn't make this one. I made this one. The Talladega got a shit hosted sessions on iRacing. These are just fucking funny, man. Dude, I've just been laughing my ass off, man, this whole fucking week. I haven't played a single video game this last 4 days. We've literally This is amazing, dude. How could you not just love life with this shit, man? What else? The 9/11 memes have been amazing. I'm not gonna show them all, but these are hilarious. We gotta. Yeah, dude. I've had so much fun just sticking around with this stuff. Ton of 9/11 memes, ton of shit like that. I didn't save it. Oh yeah, here's a bunch of furries cheering at a fire. Here's Kool-Aid Man smashing a Kool-Aid car. Here's a I Love Rule 34 billboard. I've had so much fun. This is literally all I've been doing like the past 3 days. It's been, I would encourage, I'm at the point where I'm like, dude, fuck bringing chicks over for sex. It's literally, hey, do you want to come over and just make AI art? I think that'd be one of the greatest dates you could do. Very hard sell to get there, but I think building AI art on like a first date would be amazing. I think that'd be one of the funniest things you could do, and you could really understand if you like a person or not. But this shit has been incredible. I'm going to go ahead. Do I have any other ones? I could have swore I had a Yoda. Find it. I could have swore I had Yoda in Vietnam, dude. Oh yeah, I made this one. Oh, yeah, I made this one. Where's my other ones? Here's another Walter White on D-Day with his blue meth. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I just can't believe how nice these came out. These are like, also I was an idiot and forgot that Kyle was driving the Credit One Bank car at the time and not the Target car. But these look really fucking nice, bro. These are nice. These are nice as hell. Kyle, you're talking on all teams when you drop the N word on iRacing. That's hilarious. Anyway, I'm gonna leave you guys and let you guys build lineups. Yeah, dude, Bing AI powered by DALL-E 3 is amazing. One of the funniest things you can dick around with. If you get a group of friends together and just lose hours upon hours building shit together, it is hilarious. I'll see you guys later.